Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins and welcome to the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. This is a fantastic destination race with over 1,800 athletes competing this year. That is a record amount. One thing for sure we know is that we'll have 2 new champions. The IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico, a race unlike any other in the sport of triathlon. Known for its beauty, it's also a race that is punishing, with a course filled with unique challenges.
I trained some hills on the run, and yeah, I think I'm ready for the race.
I mean, every time you step up to that start line, you have to execute your plan.
2 new champions will be crowned in the men's and women's pro division. Each racer brings their own competitive game plan. Be it mental or physical, the combination of these elements will play a vital role in deciding our champions. The field is competitive, the course historic, and the destination one of a kind. This is the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico, and all the action starts right now. Very exciting times here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, 2 days before the race actually begins. And already here at the Caribe Hotel, we've been capturing athletes arriving, the excitement of it all as they get ready for this fantastic destination race. Right now, I'm top 10 stories of the Caribe Hotel. Behind me is where all the action is going to happen at the finish line just 2 days from now, right here in San Juan. The Expo is something all the athletes look forward to when they participate in the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. It's a great time to pick up any last-minute items that you need for the race or to see all the recently released state-of-the-art gear in the industry. This is the Condado Lagoon, the start of the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. The water, 78 degrees. It's going to be a fantastic swim, but one deciding factor could be the wind. After the 1.2 mile swim in the Condado Lagoon, this is where they end up, on this very steep incline. After they go here, they go 500 meters to the transition area. As mentioned, there is no other destination race like San Juan, Puerto Rico on the Ironman circuit. Helping me break it down is the course designer, Arturo Diaz. So Arturo, races are won and lost in the transition area. How important is it right here?
It's very important, especially when the swim, you have to run like almost 500 meters from the swim exit to this location. You have to get that bike really quick, hit your gear, and get into motion right away and get off.
We find ourselves now at the bike in and out. On race day, can you describe what this is like?
This is amazing. The crowds are cheering their athletes, their family members. It's amazing. Look at the gorgeous picture that we have in the back.
It is fantastic. Now, this is a technical aspect of the course. You got to be on your game.
Absolutely. You have to be very careful because you have to go slow enough so you don't fall and you can get onto the course.
A key challenge that the runners will face is this steep incline in Old San Juan, nicknamed the Little Monster. Although beautiful, it will be hot, and this incline is a killer. Arturo suggests that it would be better to actually walk up the hill to reduce your heart rate. The matter of time you might lose is only seconds, but you will gain in saving your endurance. Good advice from the man that designed it. So Arturo, Puerto Rico was discovered in 1492. You estimate these cobblestones have been here since 1600.
Correct, yeah. When the Spaniards came in, they started with these cobblestones on the road.
And these cobblestones are definitely a challenge for the runners. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I mean, they have to be careful because if there's any water or rain or anything, they become pretty slippery.
Yeah, and now we're getting ready to go through the San Juan gate. And if you were outside of these gates at nighttime, they closed them. And now as we enter here and we make a right, this is known as the microwave. Right now, I can feel the temperature changing. This is really extremely difficult run.
Absolutely. I mean, the heat and the sun reflect on the walls, and there's no breeze, there's no air. So that combination is lethal. That's when a temperature change.
And a couple years ago, we saw a racer go out with a huge lead, but he certainly did not come back with that lead.
Yeah, 2 years ago, we had that pro athlete that unfortunately succumbed to the wrath of the microwave.
Arturo, this is the last stretch. It doesn't look like much. It's called the Terminator, but it's a killer.
It's a real killer, especially after you have to climb up and get before the finish line chute. And you already done 2 loops of intense running.
Was this your idea?
Yes.
The Terminator.
You love it.
Race day has arrived and the conditions could not be more perfect. The wind from the previous days has diminished, and the calm waters of the Condado Lagoon will soon be a mass with over 1,800 athletes. This is a time in the morning where all the training leading up to a race like this culminates. It's go time. Distinguishing themselves from the rest of the field, the pro men sport the green caps, and for the women, a bright red. The desire to win and defeat your opponent is definitely present, but also the sense of camaraderie with these athletes is obvious. The pro athlete men are set to start the 1.2-mile swim in the Condado Lagoon. Yes, that was a wake-up call for anyone that might have been still sleeping on this wonderful Sunday morning, and of course the start of the men's pro race. It would be a fast swim as the men quickly got into their rhythm. The swim might be the shortest discipline of a triathlon, but it can, in just the opening minutes, be a deciding factor for the outcome of the entire race. Sprinting out to the lead was in no surprise David Kahn. Behind him, the Brazilian Igor Amarelli, who actually got into the sport of triathlon through surfing.
I don't pick this sport. I was just a surfer, you know, and I started swimming for helping in my surfing. Then I met some friends. Then I went to see they're running in Ironman Brazil, and then I was doing triathlon. It was like this.
The pro women's race is underway. From the start, the front runners were just that, staying stride for stride among each other. There are a couple of standout athletes new to this race in Puerto Rico. One is 45-year-old Didi Griesbauer.
I'm a strong swimmer, that's my background, so there aren't very many conditions in the water that throw me, and that's one of the benefits. Whatever happens in the water, I'm usually pretty mellow with it.
Joining Didi is Sarah Haskins. Not only is this her first time competing in Puerto Rico, this is her first time competing in a 70.3 triathlon.
My personality, I'm pretty laid back and calm and easygoing. And once the gun goes off, you know, it's about the race. Have to have that strong competitive drive, and ever since I was a little kid, I think I had that.
No doubt Sarah's mental game is on target as she holds the lead. For the men, it's David Kahn who exits the water first. His lead is slight as Igor Amarelli steps behind in second place. Coming up the steps in third is Edgardo Velez. David leads the men to the bike transition. This is not an easy run. 500 meters in bare feet, a surface that you have to be alert. David does look comfortable, and he did a great job controlling the swim. He now turns the corner, entering the stadium for the swim-to-bike transition. As Arturo previously mentioned, this is a crucial element of the race. You have to be smooth, careful, and quick to get in and out. If you can, you want to build on your lead, and that's easier said than done when you have Igor Amarelli hot on your heels. Going back to the women, Sarah exits Condado Lagoon in first place. She is running a great race, and run she now does. Very quickly, I might add, to the swim-to-bike transition. As you notice, Laura Wasserman came out of the water in second place. Out in front, Sarah looks very comfortable. The swim is behind her, and now it's on to the bike. Sarah performs a textbook transition. And for second, Laurel quickly is on her way as Didi secures her helmet and hits the ground in a hurry. For the men, David Kahn has settled into the saddle out on the bike course. And so has Sarah Haskins. They are our current leaders repping the men and women. Much more to come from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Stay with us.
We are spoiled forever now. Best kept secret. You get to touch the clouds. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
The IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico is being presented by Puerto Rico All-Star Island. See PuertoRico.com. Also brought to you by Gatorade. Win from within. By Target Rent-A-Car. We aim to please. And by BN Sports. We welcome you back to beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico. To To reset the stage for you, in the first leg of the race, the 1.2-mile swim, our leader coming out of the water for the men was David Kahn. For the women, Sarah Haskins took control and she had the edge. Out on the bike, they hold their respective leads. In second place, though, for the men is Brazilian Igor Emerelli. He loves the sport of triathlon.
I really like the sport, like to race like with myself and with the others, and I love this feeling to give it all. You know, I always try to do my best.
In terms of the difficulty of the course, in terms of logistics, sharp turns, technical spots, there really aren't any. It's pretty straightforward in that regard. So I'm excited. It's really a sort of a nose down, butt up kind of course because it is so flat and windy.
As mentioned, the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico is a destination race. For obvious reasons, the athletes love coming to this event. Over 1,800 this year, and many of the athletes brought their families. They're treated to an historic island with so much more to offer.
When you look at Puerto Rico, you have to look at the transition that we have from all our history. You will see a lot of influence from the pre-Columbus days, before 1493, which was the year in which Columbus arrived to Puerto Rico, and basically most of that you will see it in the mountains and in the nature that you will find in different places.
Puerto Rico is not a large island, and from my experience, this has proven to be a huge advantage. The island has so much to offer. The beauty of it is amazing, and the local vibe, it's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, definitely that's a great advantage that we have. In just so few days, like a weekend, you can have a lot of experiences in the same destination. You can go and play golf during the morning, spend the afternoon at the week, then go the other day to a rainforest, the only rainforest in the whole United States, and then go back to the beach, spend the night in having the nightlife of El Condado, and then the other day you can go zip lining in the center part of the island.
Without question, Puerto Rico is one of my favorite destinations to return to. There is so much to do, including going to the rainforest and getting the opportunity to experience it by meeting new friends and venturing out on ATVs. We learned so much more about Puerto Rico on this amazing tour.
We are on the foothills of El Yunque, which is on La Sierra de Luquillo, in the town of Luquillo, which is the capital of the sun. In terms of resources, Puerto Rico is very valuable, and we've been able to develop a tourism industry based on the richness of our ecosystems and our environment.
The environment is fantastic, but what really makes Puerto Rico what it is the people. They're friendly and they welcome you with open arms.
It is a very important part of our culture, the warmth that we have here for people. In that regard, we are very Caribbean and we are very Latin American in that. We like to always be moving. We are always very happy. We are always trying to show the world and show the people how warm Puerto Rico can be. We have embraced what we call the pop culture of the United States together with our classic European Hispanic traditions. If I were inviting someone to come here and spend time in Puerto Rico for the first time, I would say that you are coming to the all-inclusive destination of the Caribbean. That's why we call ourselves the All-Star Island, because here you will find everything.
And that includes the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. The streets of Puerto Rico are heating up with the bike race. For the women, Sarah Haskins holds on to the lead. In second place is the formidable Didi Griesbauer. And in third place, Laurel Wasser holds tight. Checking in on the men, David Kahn has held the lead since coming out of the water, but that appears to be changing. Igor Emerelli has closed the gap. David looks back and sees the charging Igor in the not-so-far distance. The two are side by side. Igor gives David a nod, and the pass is made. Igor looks like he's out on a casual Sunday ride, not a 70.3 Ironman. He picks up the pace as he enters transition number 2, the bike to the run. Igor makes the switch, and he's quickly out of the transition. Chris Lieferman arrives in the transition in second place, and not too long after that, more men venture into T2. For the women, it's still Sarah Haskins who enjoys the lead. The upcoming hot run is on her mind as she takes a swig of water and calmly exits to the run. Dee Griesbauer arrives holding on to the second spot. She's in and out quickly, and in third place, Julie Patterson energetically makes the transition as she's off and running, hoping to catch the top two. The race is heating up in more ways than one, as the run course always offers a challenge to each and every athlete. The microwave awaits these athletes, but for now, our leaders seem quite at home in the lead, and they are determined to keep it that way. When we come back, there's much more to come. You're watching the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico.
We are spoiled forever now. Best kept secret. You get to touch the clouds. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
We welcome you back to San Juan for the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. Perfect conditions all around have greeted our athletes, as they have now gone through 2 of the 3 stages of this race. Resetting the stage, transition 2 was the bike to the run. For the men, it was Igor Amarelli who made the pass out on the bike to enter the transition in first. For the women, Sarah Haskins, in her first ever 70.3 triathlon, took the lead in the swim and still holds on to it. The athletes now settle in for the most grueling and challenging aspect of this race, the run through the streets of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Chris Lieferman hopes to catch Igor in the lead. He attacks the incline in full stride. Sarah Haskins has not missed a step in the entire race, and she shows no signs of slowing down.
In a long course race, you have to, you have the stations where you may need to grab a bottle, drink more, because that can make or break your race.
For Igor Amarelli, he does not seem fazed by the challenges of the run. He's in full rhythm, loosely striding his way through the course. As you can see, there are many changing terrains on the run. The athletes try and prepare themselves the best they can for this aspect. And for Sarah Haskins, her prep work and mental approach is spot on. No one is in her shadows as she continues to expand on her lead. Dee Griesbauer is in second place. At 45 years old, she defies all logic and still competing at such a high level. She comes fully prepared to race.
I did get a chance to preview the run course because that is something to see and be aware of what's coming. I think it's a great privilege that we get to race in such a historic part through Old San Juan and along the wall there, and I'm excited for that. Those are the things you remember when you walk away from your career, aren't necessarily what place it'll be, but the experience of having been there and done it.
Words of wisdom from a veteran triathlete. As mentioned, this is a destination race, and I learned more about the vision from race organizer Alejandro Velasquez. So Alejandro, here we are, destination race. There's no better place than this here in Puerto Rico right now.
Oh, for sure. This is the place to be. When you see everybody in the stage shoveling themselves out of the snow, and you get to travel and, be here as it is right now, well, you don't want to go back.
This race, you've been doing this now for a number of years. This year, the biggest field yet, 1,800 athletes,
yes,
including the pros. You got to feel pretty pleased with that.
Yes, we're very proud of this accomplishment. It means that that the athletes enjoy the race, very challenging, but also enjoy the destination. So it's the right formula,
You're bringing millions of dollars into this economy, and which is well needed right now. Your thoughts about that achievement, because not everybody can say that.
Well, it is a great result. When we started planning this wasn't the goal. The goal was to bring a first-class IRONMAN 70.3 event to Puerto Rico. So, the result just followed. We just wanted to have a great race, give a great alternative to those triathletes that follow the IRONMAN 70.3 races. So at the end of the day, it was the right formula. Great destination, beautiful beaches, friendly people, and the record just happened.
Yeah.
So we're very proud of it.
Your thoughts about the great field that you have. You have some extremely successful professionals coming and racing this event. You've had multiple back-to-back champions. This year, we're going to crown 2 new champions.
Yeah, well, it looks like it. We're going to have. We're breaking that that barrier of every 2 years having the same winners by coincidence. Our final goal is to keep producing a great race. You know, if you give a great race to everybody, people will come back. We have people, this is the 5th year that we're doing this race, and we have people from all over the world repeating this race. It has become their favorite race, so that tells something. So, you know, we're just going to continue doing what we love, what we do best, and the rest will follow.
And as it stands right now, the entire pro women's field is following Sarah Haskins as she continues to be the front runner. The same can be said for Brazilian Igor Amarelli. He leads all men. The excitement is starting to build as the finish is just a few miles away. Will anyone catch our leaders? Find out when we return to the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico.
We are spoiled forever now. Best kept secret. You get to touch the clouds. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
The IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico is being presented by Puerto Rico All-Star Island. See PuertoRico.com. Also brought to you by Gatorade. Win from within. By Target Rent-A-Car. We aim to please. And by BN Sports. We welcome you back to the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. We find Igor Amarelli right where he's been since stage 2 of the race, in the lead. For the women, the same can be said for Sarah Haskins. She has held the lead since the swim portion of this race. Igor feeling the excitement of the crowd. He looks like he's having so much fun interacting with the spectators as he nears the finish line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to welcome the winner of the 2015 IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico.
And that is Igor Amarelli, finishing at 3:54.58. He gets his medal from Arturo Diaz.
Ladies and gentlemen, here she comes, your 2015 IRONMAN Puerto Rico champion, out of Claremont, Florida, Sarah Haskins.
Congratulations goes out to Sarah Haskins on her first win in a 70.3. Sarah undoubtedly will be a force to be reckoned with as the tri-season picks up speed. Speed was the name of the game for Igor Amarelli, our men's pro champion. In every aspect of the race, he dominated. Igor, fantastic race today. You were out on your own about the whole race. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I felt really good today. It was everything like I hoped. So we started, I was with David on the bike until like the 45K. So I felt good, so I just kept on my pace. And when I was on the run, also I felt really good, so it was perfect.
Perfect is a great way to describe Sarah's performance. From start to finish, she was in the lead. Sarah, you and I talked yesterday. You seemed calm then, and you seemed calm throughout this entire race. Tell me about the race.
You know, the race went better than I expected, really. Like I said, I was most concerned about the run, and I actually felt good during the run. I mean, this is a tough run course. Hills, heat, wind. I don't think you could get much tougher of a run course. At the same time, you know, it's beautiful. If you're feeling okay, and you can take in some of the sights. The bike definitely have a learning curve as far as, you know, going through the aid stations. I kind of struggled a little bit trying to get some fluids and grabbing the fluids. We practiced, but, you know, again, it's different on race day. And then the swim, you know, I was happy with my swim. I felt good, and, you know, I'm thrilled with my first win at the distance.
And Sarah should be. Here's a look at the final results for the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico for the top 5 men and the top 5 women. Igor Amarelli and Chris Lieferman ran a great race, as did Sarah Haskins and Dee Dee Griesbauer. Well, over 1,800 athletes competed in this year's IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico, a record number for this exceptional destination race held at the All-Star Island of Puerto Rico. For many of the age groupers, this is a life-changing event. For most, they will be back again next year. Congratulations to all that competed and finished this very challenging and rewarding race. There were no losers at the IRONMAN 70.3 Puerto Rico. Well, as the day winds down here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, we certainly had a memorable race. Over 1,800 athletes competed, and as we mentioned, 2 new champions were crowned. Remember to put this destination race on your calendar. It is the 3rd weekend of March next year. Until then, I'm Paul Higgins. Thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of Athletes in Motion Sports Television. For more, log on to aimsports.tv.